What is up, family? We have another Patreon request. What do we have? I have no idea what we have. We have BTCC. What's that say? Oulton Park, 1996. BTCC. I don't know what that stands for.
Monday's races.
Okay, it's racing of some sort.
In the pits, all the teams were frantically trying different tyre and suspension combinations to suit the constantly
little
changing
rally here,
conditions.
little rally.
The weather wasn't much better on Monday morning, with more rain for the team's warm-up session. And that meant problems for Rickard Rydell, spinning his Volvo off the track and leaving his mechanics just 3 hours to repair his damaged car.
It's just a bit too wet this morning, and we were trying to get a good balance on wet tires. Car was quick, but I locked the rear brakes into one of the chicanes, spun and hit the tire wall a little bit. Not too hard. It's not a problem to fix it for the first race.
Drama 2 for Audi on Monday. John Bincliffe was second in qualifying on Sunday, but now his mechanics have a lot of work to do before the race.
We tried a different setting for the warm-up. We had a few problems in the second qualifying yesterday, so we thought we'd try a new setup. And to be honest with you, I just caught the curve and there's no way coming back from there for me, so we ended up with a parry, I'm afraid.
On the grid, and the Audi team is still working on the car, and I'm joined by touring car racer Charlie Cox.
And the good news is the rain stopped and the track is dry for race 1 at least, but there's big drama because already James Thompson is going to miss race 1. He's broken his power steering, would you believe, on the warm-up lap after setting the best qualifying position for a Vectra all year.
Wow, that sucks.
It's an Audi 1-2 with Frank Bieler and John Bincliffe on the front row of the grid, ahead of the BMW of Joe Winkelhock and the Volvo of Rickard Rydell. James Thompson's missing from 5th, so it's Alan Menu's Renault on its own, ahead of Silverstone winner Kelvin Burt and the Vectra of John Cleland.
Of course, I don't know a single soul racing.
Paul Radisich and David Leslie on row 5, Roberto Ravaglia and Will Hoy on row 6. With Patrick Watts and Steve Robertson, then Tim Harvey starting his 150th touring car race alongside the privateer Richard Kay. 16 laps ahead of them, a dry track, and round 9 of the Auto Trader RAC Touring Car Championship is go. Into Old Hall Corner, Bieler leads Bincliffe, then Winkelhock's BMW.
Well, that didn't take long. That didn't take long at all. Okay.
And that's Radisich, the Mondeo, head on into the barriers. Hoy's Renault's involved too.
And that's a classic Oulton Park first corner. Contact's commonplace when the whole field funnels into that right-hander, and Hoy's beached as well.
Drama before the first corner, and it's continuing. Alan Menu all over the back of Rickard Rydell's Volvo. But out in front, it's the Audi 1-2. But just look at Joe Winkelhock piling the pressure on Bincliffe. The orders Bieler, Bincliffe, Winkelhock, Rydell, Menu. But the safety car is coming out onto the track as the marshals clear the wreckage from the start straight.
And Will's okay, but what incredibly bad luck.
Yeah, he must be pissed. I mean, literally just 3 seconds starting the race. Boom, you're out of it. Bye.
Made an absolutely blindingly good start, straight down the outside, cleaned up, not his fault. Will Hoy is just one of this championship's bad luck magnets. It's going to happen, it seems always to happen to Will.
Do you know who it was?
He said, get out of here. I don't want to talk to nobody.
No, I don't know. He just chipped me into a wall. I can't believe it. Why are people so... Oh. I had a cracking start and then somebody just pushes me into the wall. Just not... Can't believe it.
He's not happy.
Just sort of luck you need, isn't it?
As Will walks back to his pit, cars form 8 behind the safety car. So let's take a look back at that start, riding in the Peugeot with Patrick Watts.
Keep your eye on the Mondeo, immediately in front of us on the right. Radisich lights the tyres up, a bad start. The BM and the Honda move in alongside of him. Radisich moves across to the left. Bang there.
Oh. Yeah.
Contact from the BM on the left-hand side. That sends him cannoning into Will Hoy. Hoy spun around off backwards. Innocent bystander.
So there were 2 people gone. Okay.
Punted into the wall.
But the race goes on. The safety car's lights are off. That's the indication to the drivers he'll be pulling into the pit lane, but no overtaking till the start line. The yellow flag's still out. They're waiting for the wave green flag. Off goes the pace car. The speed is building. Audi 1-2. Bieler leads Bincliffe across the line, but not for long. Joe Winkelhock makes his move. Down the inside, up to second place at Old Hall, then it's Bincliffe, Rydell, Menu, Bird, Cleland, Ravaglia, Watts, Leslie and Kay. Down the avenue, 130 miles an hour, sixth gear, down to fourth, 85 miles an hour into Cascades. Menu slides out wide behind Rydell, building speed now, down towards Island Bend, fastest part of the circuit.
This is a fiercely fast part of Oulton Park, no place for the faint-hearted. And just look at Menu reeling in Rydell. He's really got this car handling brilliantly as they come down to the hairpin.
Renault is moving, boy.
Rickard Rydell in fourth place, Alan Menu in fifth, getting very close indeed to the back of the Volvo. Up from 60, up to 115 miles an hour, then hard on the brakes for the tight left and right. Fulson chicane. And Rydell's Volvo is closing in on Bincliffe's third-placed Audi over Hilltop.
I'm rooting for the BM. I'm rooting for second place. I'm rooting for the Beamer.
And Winkelhock's BMW is closing in on Beeler's Audi for the lead.
Well,
Down the inside on the brakes, Winkelhock takes the lead at the Knickerbrook chicane. Beeler second, his teammate Bincliffe in third with the Volvo right behind him.
We're riding with Beeler now, and just get a load of the power of that BMW. This is a real power circuit, Oulton Park, and the BMW is just flaunting it. Flying up towards Druids. It's a double right-hander at the back of the circuit. Incredibly important to get this corner right, because there's a long drag along the back of Oulton Park to Lodge Corner. The double right-hander is absolutely everything.
And Joe Winkelhock is out in front, the queue forming now behind Beeler and Bincliffe. Heading down through Deers Leap across the line. BMW leads, then the two Audis, then Rydell's Volvo, Menu's Renault, Burt in the second Volvo, Cleland in the Vectra, Roberto Ravaglia 8th, and David Leslie in 9th place in the Honda. All those cars covered by just a handful of seconds, kicking up the dirt at the edge of Old Hall Corner. Joe Winkelhock from Stuttgart in Germany leads Frank Beeler, then the English driver John Bincliffe in a fine third place, starting to feel the pressure though from the Volvo and the Renault.
Just keep an eye out for Bincliffe. He's actually moving to the inside of the circuit already to try to fend off Rydell. He's driving defensively. There's only one ideal line through any corner, but with his four-wheel drive, Bincliffe's got more opportunity than most to adjust his line, then move back again and still get out of the corner ahead of Rydell.
And the pressure's not only on John Bincliffe now. Rickard Rydell is having to watch out for Alan Menu in that fifth place in the Renault. The Renault again seems to have the advantage on the brakes through the corners. The Volvo striking sparks off the curbs.
Yeah, I saw that.
Is closing in on Menu's tail as well. The whole leading group are telescoping as they come over the crest down to the Knickerbrook chicane.
This is anybody's race. Anybody's race.
And Alan Menu is getting very close indeed.
I have no idea how many
Menu has the
laps they
handling
do.
in this Renault, but it doesn't have the legs of the Volvo. You can see from the back of the car coming up the hill, there's a gap opening up. It just seems a little light on power, that Renault.
Into Druids, Winkelhock's BMW is now well ahead, then it's the two Audis, then Rydell's Volvo starting to take an advantage of that little bit of extra power, and he's closing in on Bincliffe again, forcing him to defend. And look at Menu, very late on the brakes, right on the tail of the Volvo.
Excuse me, Rickard, coming through.
Oh no, he's not, says the Swede. It's still Joe Winkelhock who leads across the line, then Beeler and Bincliffe, then the battle between Rydell and Menu, Volvo and Renault. And Kelvin Bird in the second of the Volvos is right on Menu's tail. John Cleland's next, 7th place. Then it's Roberto Ravaglia's BMW, David Leslie's Honda, Patrick Watts in the Peugeot rounding out the top 10. But Alan Menu now really fighting to hold on to his 5th place. Kelvin Bird is piling the pressure on in the second of the Volvos. Meanwhile, Joe Winkelhock set a new lap record, an average speed of 97.97 miles an hour.
Well, the Volvo has a little bit of
That's
damage.
the rear end of Rickard Rydell's car, still sporting the damage from Alan Menu's demonstration of braille driving a bit earlier. That's the bumper flapping behind the car. That's not going to help his top-end speed any with the aerodynamic drag from the side of it.
And perhaps that's working in John Bincliffe's favour. He's starting to pull a little further ahead of Rickard Rydell's Volvo. Menu continuing to pile on the pressure, though. And it's all happening for Patrick Watts in 12th place. Steve Robinson runs wide, balks in.
And that's a problem because it's a hill out of that chicane and straight
that
past
guy
goes
just
Owen
slid right
McCauley.
in.
Patrick's lost his momentum. McCauley's passed and now it's a drag into the second chicane, Knickerbrook. A big duel under brakes. It looks like Robertson gets the corner and McCauley gets to go and see the stewards for getting straight across that chicane. And that's Cleland over on the left-hand side. He's off too.
You're allowed to do that? What was that? That was like a shortcut.
Disappointment for Cleland, was 7th. He's rejoining at the tail of the
Oh, that guy's never catching up.
The field, weaving a little to clean the dirt from his tyres, but it's not been the best of weekends for the Vauxhall team. Thompson's out, Cleland's at the back.
And this is a brilliant four-way battle developing now for third place.
Wait a minute, you guys saw that, right? There was like an area in the track where you had two choices. You could go around or straight. You could do that? You could just pick a lane and go which way you want?
Bincliffe, then Rydell, then it's Menu, then Kelvin Burt closing in at the tail of that group. Roberto Ravaglia in the BMW.
That's my guy.
W2, but
I have no idea who that is, but that's my guy.
it's Joe Winkelhock, the race leader, 2.4 seconds ahead of Frank Bieler. Then it's Bincliffe and the pack.
2 seconds is a lot longer than you think.
But into the pits, John Cleland is heading for retirement. Disappointment for the reigning champion.
It's a continuing saga of a bad weekend. There was an oil flag out going into Fulston's, and
oh, that was the power.
Just got loose, got away from me, and got in the grass.
Oh,
dug its nose in, and that was that.
And that was that.
Then it went to turn into the next into Knickerbrook, and there was definitely a lot of oil down there, and because it wouldn't turn in, it just got well sideways, and that was the end of it. Not a good day at the office.
A day to forget for John Cleland, but not such a bad day for Winkelhock, Bieler, Bincliffe, Rydell, Menu and Burt. They're all still right on the limit.
And this Volvo-Renault skirmish is getting hotter and hotter. Menu's stuck in a sandwich between these two Volvos. He's desperate to try to get past, but at the same time, he's got to fend off Burt, who's climbing all over the back of him.
Oh, yeah,
behind that pack, Roberto Ravaglia is playing a waiting game in the second of the BMWs. This race is going to go all the way down to the wire. And the battles are going on all the way down the field too. Steve Robertson's holding off Gary Ailes in the Nissan, then Patrick Watts recovering fast in his Peugeot, then James Kay in his Honda. And heading into the pits, that's Owen McCauley in the Nissan, and I suspect this is something to do with that incident down at the chicane. And Kelvin Burt slides the big Volvo right on the very limit of adhesion through Cascades, onto the straight, down to Island Bend.
And ahead of Burt, just listen to how hard Menu's working this Renault through this sweeping left-hander, 130 miles an hour and better. And bang, he's determined to get rid of the bumper on the back of Rydell's car one way or the other. They're down to second for this corner, then working back up through the gears towards the first of the two chicanes. And Rydell's really keeping his cool throughout this onslaught. The bumper's not giving up, and neither's Rydell.
And while all that's going on, that's a little bit of a breathing space for the two Audis ahead. John Bincliffe still in third place, Frank Bieler in second place, but ahead of them both, Joe Winkelhock's long gone.
Ah, see? He's long gone. Beamer is gone.
And look at Kelvin Burt in the second Volvo, really piling the pressure on Alan Menu now.
I think that's another Beamer.
Then looks the other at Knickerbrook chicane. Menu hops over the curbs. Roberto Ravaglia.
Ah, that was another Beamer.
He's up to 7th place, started 11th, closing in on Burt's Volvo. But out in front, Joe Winkelhock now has almost a 5-second advantage over the Audis and the battling pack.
And this is a brilliant drive from Smokin' Joe. He's opened up a comfortable buffer now over that pair of Audis. He'll just be nursing things along, keeping an eye on them, making sure they don't get too close. It's BMWs and Audis. They seem to have the front end sewn up. And Ravaglia is really closing up in that second BMW, courtesy of this Volvo-Renault tussle.
Across the line, Joe Winkelhock's now almost 5 seconds ahead of the Audis. Then come the pack. Bieler, Bincliffe, Rydell, Menu, Burt and Ravaglia, all covered by just 2 seconds. Old Hall, Ravaglia challenges Burt. Burt's challenging Menu, and Menu's challenging Rydell. Burt's alongside. He's on the grass. The Volvo's weaving. Burt's out of control.
Oh, you are gone, my friend.
Heading for the barriers.
Oh.
And that is a big one.
Oh, yeah.
That's a massive hit. Across that grass, downhill, more than 120 miles an hour. Once he left the circuit, there was no stopping the car.
Nope. Nope.
These cars are so finely balanced, it only takes just a touch between them to send one of them spearing off the circuit.
It's getting too tight.
They've just kissed there. It started a pendulum effect up in Kelvin's car, and once he's on the grass, he's just a passenger. Oh.
Once he's on the grass, he's just a passenger.
Straight into the side of that tyre barrier. That's a big lateral hit, but fortunately Kelvin's got one of these new seats that wraps around his head to give him lateral protection.
Riding now with Kelvin Burt alongside Alan Menu. Menu just doesn't see him. Touch there, that's what put Kelvin Burt on the grass. The barrier comes up, and thankfully Burt was sitting on the right-hand side of the car.
Well, Well, after that, there was no question of the race being stopped while the medical team worked on Kelvin Bird. He was unconscious for some 15 minutes, but has every reason to thank the improving safety standards
He was unconscious for 15 minutes. Damn.
within these touring cars, and indeed he's ended up shaken, bruised, but is optimistic about driving in the next championship meeting at Snetterton in a fortnight's time. But obviously he'd missed the second race at Oulton Park.
Oh, this sucks for the Beamer. How do they... I forget how this works.
The race result declared at that point, victory for Joe Winkelhock, but the championship leader Frank Bieler remaining competitive to take second ahead of his teammate John Bincliffe. Kelvin Burt given sixth position. I know he's watching this at home, seeing the crash for the first time, and I'm sure he's reflecting right now.
James Kay, Gary Ailes and Richard Kay. Now, Joe Winkelhock's got a reputation for fast starting. Let's see what happens as the lights go to green. And it's not going to happen this time. Too much wheel spin for the BMW.
Wait, that's some... You lose your 5-second lead? He had a 5-second lead. He just straight up lost it because somebody crashed? They don't... Oh, that's just messed up.
Winkelhock's back to third, defending from Rickard Rydell. It's Bieler and Bincliffe leading into Old Hall for Audi. Then Winkelhock, Rydell, Ravaglia, Menu and Radicic. Bumping and boring down the avenue to Cascades. It's an Audi 1-2, BMW third, then Volvo, then Renault, then BMW, Vauxhall and Thompson.
I don't think you're going the right way, bro.
In trouble.
No, that's not the right way. No, that's not the right way.
Thompson had some contact just after the starting line. Maybe something broke on the front of the car. He's out, but just look at Winkelhock hounding those Audis.
Into the hairpin. Out towards Fulston's Joe Winkelhock.
That is so uncool what they did to that guy. He had a 5-second lead.
Closing in on John Bincliffe's Audi. Meanwhile, Frank Bieler is pulling away at the head of the field.
Dude, that's
the
not
queue
fair.
is lining up behind Joe Winkelhock. It's Bieler, Bincliffe, Winkelhock, Rydell, then Menu. Two Germans and a British driver in the sandwich in the top three. Then come the pack. But it's Joe Winkelhock closing in on John Bincliffe.
Joe's got a real head of steam up here. It's a good chance to have a pass first lap.
He's trying.
Bincliffe's having none of it.
No. Dude, that's some bullshit. I'd be furious. That's just wrong. That's not right.
Blown it. Off backwards. He's touched Bincliffe.
That is not right.
Into the tyres. That's over for Joe.
That's not right.
Bieler and Bincliffe continue at the head of the field. Now it's Rickard Rydell's Volvo closing in.
So, because you got two BMWs, two Volvos, it looks like you have two of each. Although I don't see two Renaults. But anyway, it looks like there's teams here, teammates. So if one is like in 8th place, right? And your partner is in, let's say, 2nd place, and 1st place is destroying him by like 10 seconds, destroying him. There's no way he's ever catching up. The teammate in 8th place can be like, I'm just going to crash my car. I'm going to stop the race. And now it's going to be a reset. And my brother, my partner in 2nd place will now be right there next to 1st place and has a chance to turn things around. Nah, man. That's not fair to me. I don't like these rules. It should have been like, all right, after the crash, go ahead, Beamer. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Okay, go ahead, Audi. And that's how the race should restart. No, that's not cool. I don't like that. That's not nice. I don't like that. Not fair. Not fair. Too many easy ways to cheat. And no, I don't like this.
Joe Winkelhock rejoins at the tail of the field, but there's damage on the back of the BMW. And that isn't just disappointment in terms of a race result for Winkelhock as he smokes his way back to the pits. That is also going to damage the championship point situation for him. It's an Audi 1-2 with his main rival Frank Bieler crossing the line at the head of the field. Then it's John Bincliffe, Rickard Rydell third, Alan Menu fourth, Roberto Ravaglia fifth, then Hoy, Radicic, Leslie Watts, Cleland 10th, Gary Ailes 11th.
And that blue Nissan coming up in the 11th, that's probably...
Got a cough. Whew, okay, almost choked out on my coffee.
The best placing they've had all year. And Radicic is way up there too in the Ford.
Over the crest, down the avenue, and the battle is on for second. Rickard Rydell is crawling all over the back of Bincliffe's Audi. But But I think you've spoken too soon about Radicic in the fourth. The car is trailing smoke. It's leaving oil too. Looks like a major engine problem. Can't see Radicic going much further.
That's
and someone is in trouble behind him. It's Richard Kay, the privateer. Wow.
Oh, damn.
That's a huge impact. He's put two wheels off on the right-hand side of the circuit, then speared straight across to the other side. He's crashed that car. Fortunately, Richard's okay. He's getting out of the car, more than I can say for the vehicle itself. That's a 50 grand damage bill at least. More than a privateer can afford as well. That's a new shell, whole new rear end of the car.
Yeah. And poor Radicic is in trouble too, into the pits. The new Mondeo is one of the most technically advanced cars out there, but it's had a very long development period. It's still got a long way to go.
I don't even know what the total laps are.
But that accident of Richard Kay's really was another very big one. Let's have another look at it.
Yeah, that was the
Now,
big
I don't know
one.
whether Richard's actually hit any oil from Paul's car, but one way or the other, he's gone wide onto the grass, and that's hooked him straight across to the other side of the circuit. If you run wide at Cascade, you're coming fast down the hill, turning left, you always spin to the inside of the track.
Wow.
As I said, it's a huge, huge impact. Maximum damage to
That's
the
a
back
big
of that
hit,
car.
big hit.
And the day's ending early too for Joe Winkelhock. One win, but one non-finish. And Joe knows above everyone that the consistency is what you need to win this championship. To make matters worse for him, it's an Audi 1-2 still, with Beeler and Bincliffe holding on ahead of a very determined Rickard Rydell.
We're in car with Rickard now. He has a look down the inside. He's desperate to get past Bincliffe. We're coming up the Lodge corner here. He's going to have a run there, see if he can get through. Yes, there is room. Two wheels up on the cross. No way, Rickard. Back you go. This is the widest Audi in England, and Bincliffe's not helping you get past.
John Bincliffe doing a superb job of defending, and Alan Menu takes
right
advantage
up
as Rydell loses momentum to make a run alongside at Old Hall.
Come on, Beamer. Get in there.
Rydell holds on, holds the inside line.
Yeah,
He does a Bincliffe on Menu. Now he's trying to get past Bincliffe.
There you go.
He's down the inside.
You
You
got
have
it.
the advantage at the left-hander at Cascades. Rydell does it. Up to second place.
Nice.
Menu tries to follow through, but Bincliffe closes the door again. Ravaglia right on the tail of Menu too. Beeler out in front. Now it's Rydell in the Volvo. Bincliffe still holding on, defending furiously in third place. Menu, though, right on his tail. He's trying hard.
Stands on the brakes, gathers him in as he comes into the corner. Hard on the power. Bincliffe has got the edge, though. He's got the grip with a four-wheel drive, and I think he's also got that slight horsepower advantage. More so than he did with the Volvo.
Rickard Rydell is flying. Closing in now on the race leader. Meanwhile, Alan Menu is harrying John Bincliffe in the second of the Audis for his third position. Over the crest, over Hilltop, down to Knickerbrook. And again, Bincliffe holds the tight inside line. A nudge on the tail, though, this time from Menu. The Swiss is getting very determined indeed. But meanwhile, in the pits, Joe Winkelhock is a spectator.
But already in the first lap, I was really a lot quicker than Bincliffe.
Dude, you got robbed. You got robbed.
And in every corner, he blocked me.
You got totally robbed, bro.
And so I must say, was not so nice. And also now in the race, you can see he blocked all the cars behind him. And so they are about 1 second slower.
Well, the battle goes on as James Thompson and Richard Kay walk home. Menu is closing again on the tail of Bincliffe's Audi. Ravaglia in turn is closing on Menu's Renault. It's getting absolutely frantic. We're riding with Menu, 135 miles an hour in sixth gear. And again, Bincliffe takes the title line through Island Bend. Controls Menu's speed down into the hairpin.
Oh
Both the cars braking hard, down to 60 miles an hour. Second gear.
Close.
Now the Audi uses its power and traction to rocket out towards the Coulson chicane, peaking at 110 miles an hour, then down to 60. Fifth gear down to second, clips the curbs. Menu curb hops just that little bit harder, that little bit more determined.
Menu's closing up on Bincliffe now as they run down the hill towards the Knickerbrook chicane. It's going to be a real late braking duel here, you can see it. Bincliffe locks up. Oh, you can hear in the engine. So does Menu. One sideways, the other. It's an opportunity for Menu on the inside, but he's also got a cover because he's got the BMW right behind him. Then the drag up the hill. It looks as though Bincliffe's got the legs on him.
It's Bincliffe and Menu. Ravaglia in the BMW. Will Hoy in the second Renault. It's now a 5-car scrap because David Leslie's there in the Honda too. It's a real dogfight. 5 cars locked together. Soon to become 6. John Clallan's catching fast in the Vectra too. And again, Bincliffe defends, takes the title line. Menu and Ravaglia stack up behind him through Deer's Leap. And at the head of the field, Rickard Rydell is definitely closing in on Frank Bieler. It's 4-cylinder, 4-wheel drive from Germany, 5-cylinder, 2-wheel drive Volvo from Sweden. German driver, a Swedish driver. Both the cars right on the very limit through Cascades. And the fastest lap goes to Rickard Rydell. It's bringing him closer and closer to the back bumper of the Audi. And Rydell is hurling that big Volvo through Island Bend. Very determined. Monday's race.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
And closer to the back bumper of the Audi. And Rydell.
What the hell?
Is hurling that big.
Did I just get trolled? What kind of video is this?
Volvo through.
How do you end it with no ending? You gotta at least tell us who won. How could this video get cut off like this? I don't care if you take out like 20 laps. At least show the ending. Oh, that's so messed up. I can't believe the video just ends abruptly like that. So we know nothing other than I don't like those rules. Is it like that for every single race car? I don't watch racing. But is it like that for everything? For rallies, for even NASCAR, everything? You could have like a 20-second lead and somebody crashes and then the caution car comes out and boom, you lose your 20-second lead? That's stupid. I don't like that. That's not fair. Anyway, I mean, it was fun and exciting and cool and nice to watch, but come on, man. You can't send me something like this with no ending. It can't just abruptly end like that. Now I have no idea what's going on. It was getting really good, too, at the end. That's messed up, man. That is so messed up. Can't believe you just did that to me. Just messed me up there bad. Wow. No ending. How can that be? That's terrible. You better at least put in the comments who won. That's messed up. Take care. Peace out. Have a good night.